Special day for us in my hamlet. Last week, our fibre optic was officially given the green light, and immediately I've signed up to have fibre optic to the house. So it's fibre to fibre, fibre to the door, I mean. So we should have a really good speed. At the moment, I'll just show you what we've had for the last, how many years? 22 years since we've been here. I can't really moan because what we've had has been reasonable, but we've only had this like pitiful speed. I'll show you. So this is megabits per second, Mbps. Okay, so we get about 1.2. I've got some other stuff running at the moment anyway, but about 1.2, 1.21, sometimes a bit more, sometimes a bit less. And we also have a tiny upload speed of 0.6 or 0.7. It's like futile. So the technician's on his way to be here for 11:30, and I will show you what happens. Hopefully we'll have 1,000 times that speed. We're supposed to get 2 gigabit download, 1 gigabit upload. I can't actually use that speed that quick because a lot of my equipment is now older and it won't work at that speed, but to have the capacity to literally download stuff that quick is astronomical for me. We live in the middle of nowhere. Everybody's the same in Brittany. They've done the whole of Brittany. And I'll show you how much work they've done. Bear with me a sec. You can log into my area and zoom in, and you can see, oh, here we go, it's loading now. Just takes a while, but I was going to point out that you can see how the whole place is now basically nearly all green. And so red is the areas that are just having a study done. Okay, so blue is where, sorry, orange is where work has started, and blue is where they're nearly ready for connection. So it does give you an idea of the amount of infrastructure they put in. So we'll just scroll it while it loads because the speed's so slow here. Just log in here. This is my commune. So I live up in this top corner, and that's where I live up here. That's now all green. That's Longanore, the commune just next to it. They've just gone orange. They've done the study and they're installing it there. So this is really geeky, but I've been following this for ages, and I can't tell you how many times I've been logging in, waiting to find out when my commune is going to be completed or ready to be able to have. So when it says ready for commercialization, that means you can then go to your provider and they'll provide you with either SFR, Bouygues, which is a French supplier, and Orange, and Free. So we've got 4 or 5 here we could choose. I think there is actually more as well. But anyway, this gives you some idea of how it all started. We had our fibre pole outside put up literally over a year ago. So that's fibre optic up. And if you can see just up there, top of that, there's telephone poles, there's electricity poles as well, and telephone poles, but the fibre is on the top of that T-piece going from left to right. So that's my fibre, and it terminates at a box up the road, but then I'll have a fibre from that, I'll come up, back to the post to my house. So that's all kind of ready just to be connected today. So I'll just kind of show you the basic equipment I've got. I've invested a bit in a security system. I've got cameras all around the honey house and around the house, so that if I'm not here, at least I know what's going on. And when I've got fibre with a good upload speed, I'll be able to view it all quickly. I can view it already, but it's just not very good speed. I'll be able to view it in high definition when I'm out and about. But this is my camera controller. That's what stores all my cameras. It's a straightforward DVR, digital video recorder. And in here I've got my switch. I've got one switch here, which is not used much at the moment because it only takes 3 or 4 appliances, but I've got a box because it makes it all in the same area. This is my communication between the honey house and here. That's the fibre optic link that goes off out the wall. You can see the other coil cable there, goes off out the wall, down the garden, underground, and then off to the honey house. And it's a TX-RX supply, fibre both ways, so you can get a lot of info backwards and forwards on that connection. Then obviously it terminates in an RJ45, then the RJ45 comes out of there and goes into the back of the camera system. So basically that enables me to have everything working together. So I bought the box. I've got one for the honey house as well. It just centralizes everything. But then this is my new router that came today. This is the orange box. It's their new we call it a live box, but it's live box 6, this one. There is a live box 7, but because I haven't got the super high speed, I've only got pretty high speed, which is going to be still 2 gigabits download, 1 gigabit upload. That's going to be fitted in the next hour. They're going to put a cable through the wall here. I put this in, so they'll put a cable through, terminate in a box here that comes from the post outside. Then I plug this cable from the box to there, and then in go my local area network cables, however I want, however many I want and need. So it's all set up, all ready to go. Just a question of connecting the internet with a new connection. But we had a DSL system before, as I said, it was or ADSL, and it works, but it's just not that good. So at the moment, all my cameras run into that if I want to see my cameras outside the house. So just to give you some idea of how it kind of works, if you're looking to set up a system, it's not that complicated. In the lounge here, I've got one of these TP-Link wireless gigabit ceiling mounts. That's what we call a WAP. It's a wireless access point. And there it is up here. I fitted this one yesterday. So that will take over when the old box goes, because I won't have Wi-Fi, because that box is also Wi-Fi, the old system, and that Wi-Fi does this room and some of the kitchen. But the centralized wireless access point will do this place and the kitchen and the lounge. So and then in my part of the end of the house where all the electrics are, I'll have Wi-Fi there from the box itself. So techie, boring, geeky, but a bit of fun. But before I get too carried away, let me just give you some idea of where we were before. So this is a gigabit switch. The speed I've got is coming to the box is 2 gigabit. I can show you that. So that is the actual result of what is coming into my router. So we're getting 846 megabits upload and 2038 megabits download. So that's 2.038 gigabits. So I had initially a speed of 2 megabits, and now I've got 2 gigabits and more at the router. which is obviously 1,000 times faster, which is just insane. But it's only when you start working it all out and looking at it a little bit, and my maths is terrible, but I have to use comparisons. So in most houses and most setups now, no one has any equipment that works more than a gigabit. Most computers now, like this laptop, only work, well, this works a little bit quicker. You can see this gives me up to 1.2, so this is nearly saying 1.8 gigabits. But that's we lose a bit of information between the router and the testing place. No matter what equipment you buy, now we're getting proper internet installed everywhere and good actual feed of toing and froing information. None of the computers you have generally work at that speed because they don't need to. So if you have a service provider that's even giving you 100 megabits a second, that is still 50 times greater than what we used to have it. And that would have been enough for us. But they offer this under the same price. And I've actually changed my entire package and kept my same mobile number. Now I've gone with Orange Pro and I get a fixed internet address with that as well. So that's a good little thing to have because it means your connections are always solid. But for once now, we are, rather than being lagging in our speed, and everything we had that was fairly modern worked quite well, but at a slow speed to send and receive information outside and inside the house, now we're the opposite. Now we've gone to a super high speed that serves all my equipment, but a standard speed for the equipment that I've got because it's just pegged to the size of the processors in my equipment. So in my switches, I've got gigabit switches, but they only go to 1 gigabit. And if I was to buy new ones, these are about €300 each because I've got 2 of these, one here and one at the honey house we're going to go and see after. But we can do some comparisons down there. But that's going to be fine forever, probably for the rest of my life. I do not need any more speed unless we all upgrade computers, unless they become even more AI and we need more speed. That's more than enough for what I need. To give you some idea as well, if you had like a house that had 20 meg in or 40 meg, but you were getting 20 megabits in each room, perfect for Netflix, for gaming, everything. If you had 100 meg, you'll spoil. I've got nearly 800 in every one of my rooms because of the switches and the wireless access points I put in. All work perfectly, but they lose speed along the way. And that's what you have to realize is when you fit all this stuff, your end speed is never actually what you're getting at your router. But it doesn't matter because if your starting speed is high and you're getting way more at the end of it in the individual rooms and the wireless access points, you're brilliant and you just have no lagging. Really good. So let's just pop down and see down the honey house, see what speeds we get down there. So I've decided to put all my switches and everything in this corner because it basically terminated well. It's next to the office. It does actually come in. There's a strip you can see with all fibre optic comes up out the ground there, along there, out the wall. And I've got all the wires coiled up the top. And I've actually put this box on a TV stand holder. So it actually works really well, but I haven't put the door back on yet because it's pretty light anyway. And I kind of figured it would be great to be able to move it around, but it's very simple. These are all my cameras coming in. That's my 2 Wi-Fi cables for the 2 local area, for the two wireless access points in the honey house so far. That's my fibre optic coming in from the house. And that's the fibre optic coming out through an RJ45 going into my switch, and then the switch communicates with the 2 backwards and forwards from the house. So I've got Wi-Fi down here. This is one of my Wi-Fis up here. This is a really good one. I really like this. This is made by TP-Link. This is a really good Wi-Fi outlet. You can see on the corner of that, and that is giving me the highest speed. But I've got another one in the roof of the extraction room here, which I may disconnect, I don't know, but it's good to have the 2. This one is up here. There you go, that's on as well. So I'm just juggling things around, seeing what works. It doesn't all have to be like that, but I put one there because I thought it would be the best thing, but you just don't know until you try it. But overall, that's all working now and all kind of solid. I didn't tell you we've actually got all these plugs in. There's going to be worktops. Let me just take a stand back. Worktops all around here, like a kitchen style worktop. So I'll have cupboards underneath, whatever I can configure and get for the price, all down this side and all down the far side. So I'll have a big L shape here of worktops and countertops like you have in a kitchen. And then I can put incubators on and stuff like that and charge a battery and all sorts of stuff like that. And that will be down both sides. But this, I just decided to do here, has worked out really well, I think. And it's the technical center of the kind of place. And I can see it quickly if I need, there's a problem, I can get to it and also move it around a bit. So let's do some speed tests here. So first we're going to test the speed from my switch that comes in from the honey house to the laptop. Got a MacBook Pro here, I've had it for quite a while, and it's just connected directly. We'll just see how that does. So as I said, the switch will only give me a maximum of 1 gigabit, but that's 920, 910, I imagine, download. The upload is actually similar, but the upload is only ever a maximum of 800 at the house. So we got a full upload speed, 840 meg, well more than what I need, but for sending my YouTube videos, it's absolutely mint, to say the least. So now I've disconnected my local area network cable, the good one that goes into my laptop, and I'm on the Wi-Fi that is from the wireless access points in the honey house, the one I just showed you. And we'll do a speed test now. If we're getting that in the honey house, this is a MacBook Pro, obviously it's got a good processor in it, so it does process it pretty quick, but the maximum, as we know, it can go to 1 gigabit, but the upload and the download are huge. So all my devices have access to this, it just depends how quick they work. But that is amazing, to have that on Wi-Fi in my honey house at the end of a extension that I've invested in. Perfect. So we've got a bit of tweaking to do. There's a few things to tidy up. There's additional wiring to do, but overall, getting a decent network set up around the house and the honey house is key to having a good speed in your rooms. It is a little bit of investment, but if you think about how much we use the internet these days, for me, it's just logical to have a good speed. It's not flash, it's just making use of simple things that are available on the market. I just had to investigate it to work out the best thing to do for what I wanted. Now I'm kind of future-proof for, I imagine, for 5 years or more. To have this network running is amazing. All I've got to do is make sure that the cables don't get wet, stay dry. But with fibre optic, for example, that's the bonus with it. There's no verdigris you get on the copper connection, stuff like that, that used to come into the house. So the 2 megabytes we had before were tiny, but it was a good 2 mega. So I had my kids in the house on iPads and iPhones for the last 16 years, and we got through it, but man, was it a struggle sometimes. But to have this, I really wish we'd had it earlier on, but it just wasn't available. And the installation was slow, but I think it was worth it long term. I thought about going to get the satellite. I was that close about 6 months ago because the farmer went through the cable up the road just as they were handing over the network infrastructure to the company that was going to use it. But before it's handed over, there's no conditions on it. It's just as and when it's done. And then the farmer broke it, so we had to wait another 6 months. But we are here now and it's finished. And all I can say is, if you want to have a decent network in the house, spend some time, get some cameras up for security around your honey house, because all mine record and it goes up to the house there. So even if someone cut it down here, to the moment it was cut, I'd have a copy of everything that was stored up there and more. So yeah, good result. Looking forward now to get on with some beekeeping. Know that my place is secure. I have access when I need it to my cameras online because the upload speed is so brilliant now and everything is visible. So thanks for watching. Catch you again soon. I hope that's given you some insight as to what you might be able to do yourself. We've still got loads of work to do here. No greater change in the electrician. He's coming again this week. We'll be moving forward, getting the installation box for all the fuses in and trip switches in this week. Maybe in 2 weeks we'll have the certificate. That's all. Take care. Bye for now.